Okay, so hello everyone, welcome, and I'm going to give you a summary of what we're about to do before we start. So, before we start, I want to give you an illustration of some kind of setups that occur in the market. Now, this is US 30 first of all, and currently I'm on 12 hours. So, my interest is on 12 hours for now. So, let's look at 12 hours now. Understand that when you start your day, the first thing prior to the day close, prior to the day open, you want to look at your daily time frame, your normal step down analysis weekly. If it's a Monday or a Sunday, you want to look at the weekly and look at what price did the previous week. If it's a new day, you want to look at what the day closed like. Now, so let's go to daily time frame before we go to 12 hours so we can actually see the picture. Now, on daily time frame, this is what we are seeing. This is what we're seeing. Look at it. This is a support level. So price comes reject, reject, reject. Then it uses a day and breaks below. Then my interest on the daily is okay. If price has given me a bearish intention, because when price breaks a support or resistance, that becomes a bearish intention, meaning price wants to move in a bearish movement, which is the previous support has been broken, and that support will become resistance. The theory of the market. When support is broken, it becomes resistance. When resistance is broken, it becomes support. So on the daily time frame, this is our support level. Our support level has been broken, and price closed a full day before it and below it, and give us our IPA from here to the close of the candle, which is here. So IPA is from here to here. We have that IPA. So what we do now is we've seen it on daily. Now let's look at what did price do on 12 hours. That's a question we have to do. So look at this. So this is what price did. So price here has been a support, and we're seeing on the daily that price closed. But if you think about it, what t- we have 12 candles, we have 12 hours candles, meaning if you divide a day, which is 24 hours, into two, we have 0 to 12, which is the London, the Asian. Then we have 12 to 0, which is where the NYC bell. Remember, this is US 30. I'm interested in NYC bell. This is where the NYC bell comes in and gives us a movement, a direction. So it was during the NYC bell, which is 12 to 0, that price broke this support level and gave us an intention for price to sell. Now remember, on daily time frame, we had seen that we have a daily fair value gap that has broken a previous support. And when a support is broken, it becomes a resistance after printing its SOB in there, which is our point of interest. Now, on 12 hours, what I'm trying to explain to you is when New York prints an SOB and gives you fair value gap, it's most likely that it is the next day's New York that will come and fill up that fair value gap, hit that same New York SOB, and give you the continuation of its intention. So its intention here, after breaking support, was price has changed structure and it wants to sell. So now this is what I like seeing. 0 to 12 will not come and give us this kind of candle. It will not fill our IPA for us from here to here. So I'm expecting the that same New York for the next day. This is 12 to 0 night. I'm expecting 10th, on the 10th October, 12 to 0 to come and also fill up that level and give us our trade setup. So on daily setup, we have on 12 hours, it was what New York that did it with NYC Bell. Then I'm expecting the same New York to come and fill up his own. So the same contracts that were opened and closed here, I'm expecting those New York section the next day to also do that. Now I'm also going to show you another example of this. I'm giving you this because this is something I see a lot, and I also take these positions. Now another example of this is right here. Now look at this. This is what this is. Let's go to daily so that you can also look at it on daily too. So this is on daily. Okay, good. This is on daily. So look at what price did. We just analyzed this one. Now we're going to look at this one. So on a daily time frame, we had a fair value gap on the 10th of December. Now let's look at 12 hours. Sometimes it doesn't really show on daily, but pay attention to 12 hours like this. Now this is 12 to 0. 0 to 12 gave me this. 12 to 0 gave me this, meaning price broke above this high. This was a previous what? Resistance level. Price broke the resistance level, which is 12 to 0. Then the next candle 12 hours, which is 0 to 12. The next day on 11th, this was what? Okay, this was second. So 2nd December 12 to 0. Price gave me an intention for a bullish movement. Then the next 0 to 12, price did not come to fill that level up and still left my IPA valid. My IPA was from here to here. Now, so 12 to 0 is the one that caused this movement in price. So I'm expecting what the next day 12 to 0 to come and fill it up for me, and it did that for me here and gave me its direction. The same thing. So the same thing also happened here. This is what 12 to 0. 12 to 0 gave me indication, which is it broke below this level and came here. The next 0 to 12 did not do that, so the next 12 to 0 will come and fill up and fill up my IPA, hit my SOB and drop. The same thing also happened here too. This is 12 to 0. It broke this level, gave me my SOB and IPA. Then it is by 12 to 0 the next day that will come and fill up. So that's just the picture of if you want to look at your market on a different level, this is how you look at it. Because your setups, if you enter like this, it really runs through the end of the day. So you have some level of peace of mind. And all you know is the moment price so beautiful. The moment price comes back here, it comes down, touches it, and goes up. So you have a very nice entry here and breaks off as soon as possible for price to run off. So the same thing. Now the interest of today is to look at two things. Now the market when there's a daylight shift, I call it two sections. There are two periods or two sections on the market. So we have the first section, which is when price runs from January, which is when the daylight shift has not occurred. We have a setup for that, and we've explained that earlier on. Now, the second setup is when the daylight shift happens. We found out that New York NYC Bell is now opening 1 hour ahead. So it used to open by 2:30 Nigerian time GMT plus 1. Now it's opening by 3:30. So what I do is there's a setup before the NYC Bell and there are setups after the NYC Bell. So there are two setups for the same day. So what do I do? Now, since our chart of nurses is on GMT plus 0, meaning when I look at 12 to 3, that 12 to 3 I'm seeing on my chart closes by 4 p.m., which is 30 minutes after the bell has rung. And most of the time when the bell rings and closes, it gives us indication, it is intention for what it wants to do. So let's look at what I'm talking about. So pre the NYC bell, I'm looking at 2 hours, and what I want to see, this is December. Let's go to October is still fine. What I want to see is indication from price. Indication from price. I want to see price give me indication. Now, 12 to 2 here is indication. Good. All right. So, three things. The first thing is this is a support level. if you break it down to 15 minutes, the support level, which is price comes here and buys, comes here and buys. Then 12 to 2. 12 to 2 is what? In Nigerian time, GMT plus 1, 12 to 2 closes by 3. And our NYC bell rings by 3:30. So 12 to 2 gives me indication that price has now broken what? A support level. And that support level will now become a resistance level, which is this line. Previous support broken must become resistance level. So now I have an interest to sell this particular pair by this time, and I want to sell this pair once the NYC buy comes, rings, and the candle goes above and comes below. That's when I want to open my setup to my trade, and I'm interested in my stop loss being here or here. You understand that this, when the bell rings, is very fast, so you can have 2 minutes, 1 minute candle, price will go above, and once it closes below this level, I'm executing my sell. This candle is an indication level. This is a broken support that has become resistance, so price is going to sell below this level to give me my trade setup. Okay, so now the first thing I do is I come and look at 12 to 2. So if 12 to 2, which is, this is pre NYC bell setup, the 12 to 2 has an IPA, and I break it down. I'm going to break this thing down for you. Let's look at it on 5 minutes. 16th of October on 5 minutes. Alright, so this is what we're looking at. All I know is the moment price goes below this level and comes back up during my NYC bell, I am executing my trade. So this is when the 2 o'clock candle closed, which is right here, and I saw a fair value gap on 2 hours here. So all I know is the moment price comes above this level and closes below it, I'm executing my trade, and this is my stop loss, which is right here. So this is my stop loss, this is my entry at this candle here, and I'm targeting price to go down. Now let's go back to 2 hours. This is pre NYC bell setup. Good. So when I see 12 to 2, which GMT plus 1 is 3 p.m., closes by 3 p.m., I have to wait for candle to close to see what the price wants to do, because I'm trading price action. That is what I trade. So pre NYC bell, this is a setup. I mark out this level, I wait for price to break above and below, execute my trade. This is my stop loss, and I let price do its thing and run for the day. So now another setup again is right here. This is what? 12 to 2 pre NYC. You understand that when the bell opens and comes and rejects, it takes a lot for price to come to your entry level during an NYC bell where there's so much volatility, and close below and changes from sellers to buyers or buyers to sellers. So price comes here, this is it, right? This is 12 to 2. So price comes here, we know we've seen a fair value gap from here to here. This will be my stop loss here, or here will be my stop loss. It's very fast. In 1 minute, 2 minutes, you have a trade entry, and it runs very, very beautifully well. So 2 hours can equate 2 hours. So at the end of 2 hours, I'm expecting price to either stall or continue. But by then, I'm locked in already. My profit is locked in already, and I'm waiting for price to do what it wants to do so that I can have my peace. Now, this is what price did. It opened, NYC bell came down, rejected, which is it changed from buyers to sellers and gave me my setup. Another example of what I'm talking about again is right here. Look at this. This is what, remember we trade, this is broken support or broken resistance has changed to new support. This level was a resistance level, and price broke it by 12 to 2, which is an indication. Then at the ring of the NYC bell, price came down price came down after breaking 12 to 2, came down, rejected the level, and bought to give me my setup here for a buy. So the same thing. So the same thing keeps happening. The same thing keeps happening. The same thing happened here too. All these are pre NYC bell, meaning at the NYC bell, once the candle rings and price comes down, changes from what sellers to buyers. Let's break this. Let's break this particular one so you can look at it clearly. This is what? Okay, this is 10 to 12. Okay, this is 24th. So this is, let me break this one for you so you can look at this one. This one will be perfect for us to break down. But before we break down, let me just keep showing you more examples of what I'm talking about. On 2 hours, this is another one. Most of them I remember them very clearly because I was in them. So this is what? 12 to 2. This was a previous support that was broken. Indication, which is this candle. The NYC bell came, it went above and dropped below to give me my sell. So these are all pre NYC bell opportunities. These are all pre NYC bell opportunities. Now the same thing also happened here too. This is 12 to 2. Now this is after daylight shift, which is always during the end of the year. Price still does the same thing, but because of we work with candle close, we have to also adjust our setup to this. So I have a setup for when the NYC bell, when the daylight shift hasn't changed, and when it changes, also have another setup, but it's still the same thing. Broken support has become resistance. Broken resistance has become support. The same thing. So pre-NYC bell, this level was a what? Resistance level, which is when price comes here, it sells. Now price gave me indication by closing with a fair value gap by 12 to 2. So I expect the next candle to open, go below it, and which is changed from sellers to buyers to give me this setup for a buy. So these are all pre NYC bell setups. Another one again we're going to look at is this. Remember that when the NYC bearings is very fast, so once you just watch on 1 minute, 2 minutes, let price come below your structure, touch it or break below, break above, change from sellers to buyers and go. Now all these levels were what? Resistance levels. Price was rejecting here. Then at 12 to 2 it broke. Then the next candle came down, filled that level here and gave me my buy. Now let's continue again for the same thing. I'm just giving you examples of what I'm talking about. So we go back up. Now this candle is 12 to 2 pre NYC bell. So this was what? A previous support. Look at it. Price came here, buy. He bought and he broke 12 to 2, give me indication of sellers. The previous candle was bearish. This new candle is that showed indication was bearish. Price will come back, fill up, and give me my sell. The same thing also happened here. 12 to 2. Price came. My stop loss is here. Remember. So price came back. This is what? Resistance. Price broke, came back, filled up, and gave me my sell setup. So NYC bell hits it 1 minute, 2 minutes, executing your trade. I remember this one very well because price didn't touch when I wanted it to touch, but I still realized that this was a resistance level, support rather, broken, has become resistance. So price came here, it didn't fill up completely, it filled at this level and dropped to give me my sell. So another example again of what I'm talking about is also right here. 12 to 2. This level was what? A resistance level. Price broke it here. 12 to 2 gave me indication that price wants to buy. Previous candle was bullish. This candle is bullish. Indication candle is good. Price came below here, gave me my setup and gave me my trade. These are all pre NYC bell setups. I'm going to also talk about the setups that also occur after NYC bell, so you can have the two pictures in mind. So another setup again of what I'm talking about is it's right here. The price came here. This pre-level was and this IPA SOB price came, filled it up, and gave me my buy. So all these are just pre NYC Bell setups after daylight shift. Now let's talk about setups that occur after. So now we're looking at two different things, pre and after. So we're looking at pre and after. So let's talk about after and pre now. So when you don't have your setup by, which is 12 to 2 pre, you can also have a setup that will occur after. So now the setup that occurs after is 12 to 3, meaning GMT plus 1, it closes by 4 p.m., which is 30 minutes after the NYC bell. Now, as usual, we trade 1 hour to after the NYC bell, our candle has closed. Meaning, if our NYC bell is opened by 3:30, by 4 o'clock, it has 1 hour candle indication. So it gives us a 1 hour candle fair value gap, and price will come down there and fill that up to give us our continuation candle, our trade. So this is 3 hours. So now 12 to 3 and 2 to 3 closes at the same candle, so at the same time. So when you're looking at, when you don't see pre New York, which is 12 to 2, and now you're seeing 12 to 3 fair value gap, you're seeing 2 to 3 fair value gap, giving you indication that is your after NYC bell setup for an entry. So they close at the same time, so you have your chart showing both 3 hours, which is 12 to 3, and 1 hour, which is 2 to 3. Now either of them can give you your trade setup. Either of them can give you your trade setup. This is also 12 to 3. So price will come back, hit up, fill up, and give me my trade for a sell. So this level was also 12 to 3. Price will come back, hit it. This is my stop loss here, and give my level for a buy. The same thing happens here too. So 12 to 3. Now understand one thing, to look at this, it's still the same thing we are trading. Broken resistance will now become support, so price will come down, hit that level with our SOB, and give us our trade for a buy. Now I want to break this thing down to you for you. So let me put an extra line so you can understand what I'm talking about here. So this is it. So now this is 12 to 3, and 12 to 3 closes by 3. Let's call it by 3, and 2 to 3 closes by 3. So they both form at this, that IPA forms at the same time. So now we'll go back to 1 hour to look at it. Now it's either like for this one, for an example of this, now we trade 1 hour after NYC bell, remember, because it's the same thing. We're looking for the same thing. So look at it. So this is what resistance. NYC bell closed bullish. The candle before it was a bullish candle, and price gave us a favor. Look at this, rejection. Price breaks through NYC bell, gives us a fair value gap. So price will come back on 1 hour, hits that level, fill up, and give us our continuation for a buy. Now understand that this also is what 12 to 3. We looked at it on 3 hours, so 12 to 3 fair value gap. So when 12 to 3 fair value gap is IPA is available, and 2 to 3 1 hour is also available, those are signs for your trade setup to occur. So the two setups will appear at the same time. And yours is when price comes to the SOB. When price comes to the SOB, you take your setup for a buy. So 12 and 3. 12 to 3, 3 hours, and 2 to 3, 1 hour will give you indication and your setup for a buy. So now we have pre New York and after New York. Either way, you have beautiful setups for the day. That is how it is. Beautiful setups for the day. That's just how it is. So either 1 hour or, which is this bearish candle, this is NYC Bell, closed bearish, fair value gap was here, price came back, filled it up, and gave me my trade for a sell. The same thing. So either of them works for you. So before the NYC Bell, you have a clean one. Price comes to give you a setup and gives you a run for your money, sweet one. Then after the NYC Bell, you have another opportunity. So you have opportunities before and after. Either way, you always make opportunities available for you because you're trading exactly what the market is showing you, not what your eyes are showing you. So 12 to 3, 3 hours, and 2 to 3, 1 hour appears at the same time, both giving you indication of fair value gap. You have your trade, you mark it out, the both setups, the both levels, and wait for price to come and reject it, change from either buyers to sellers on a small time frame. You know what, let's look at this will just give us a perfect example. Let's look at this so that we can see clearly. Let me break this down to you on, let's call it, let's say 2 minutes. Okay, now forget about all this noise and pay attention to what's important. When did this candle close? This is when the candle closed, right here. It closed here. And on 1 hour, we've seen our setup that the moment this candle closes and price comes back into this level and changes from what sellers to buyers, we're looking for buy, remember, then we execute our trade. So it is even by now, by this time, that we are even seeing an opportunity. By this candle here, the one that closes, this one here. So it's when it closes, we know, okay, yes, we have 1 hour fair value gap. This is where we're expecting price to come below and go above. So when price comes below here, changes from what sellers to buyers, execute your trade. This is your stop loss, and you want price to come again and go to your potential for the day. So this is what price did. So your stop loss, this level is the previous resistance that was broken and has become support. So this from here to here, with your stop loss of 90, some 93 pips, your take profit was times 5, 1:5. So all you have to do is wait for price to come down, change from what sellers, right here on your cluster delta, there will be trapped sellers. Then price will change from sellers, shift to delta to buyers, and give you your setup. That is it. Price can come again, but this is it. And let price do its thing. So let's go back to, so we've learned pre-New York. Look at it. It had pre-New York, and it also had a setup. So you had two setups in one day, which will be a continuation for you if you want to stack more trades. So pre-New York was here, which was 2 to 12 to 2. Then we had another setup for after New York, which was 1 hour IPA and 12 to 3. So the opportunities will always be there. That's why I'm always on US 30, because I enjoy it. And that's it. The same thing when resistance is broken. This is resistance. Price is rejecting, is broken. Price will come, fill up your IPA, and that level will now become a support for a buy. The same thing. Look at how beautiful the setup is. It ran from here to here, which was what, 1,000 points. Very beautiful setup. So they will always appear. They will always be there for you. All you have to do is be able to see them. That's all. And when you see them, you plan your trade accordingly and execute. So when the market has a shift because of daylight shift, you have even more interesting setups. So let's have a wonderful day. Understand that I started by spending 12 hours because I wanted to give you a whole picture of the day. If you want to say, okay, I want to trade 12 hours, good. So you have 12 hours, a general picture. You have before the NYC bell, and you have after the NYC bell. So when you have 12 hours, you know that, okay, this is the real direction of the market. The market wants to use that 12 hours NYC bell, which is 12 to 0, 12 to the end of the day, to come and fill up the previous day IP that was also printed by 12 to the end of the day, which is what I first showed you. And after showing you that, I'm now showing you so many beautiful setups that happened pre-New York NYC bell, which is 12 to 2, price comes back. When the NYC bell rings, hits your setup, changes from sellers or buyers to sellers, and gives you your run for your money. So many beautiful setups. All you have to do is look at this, back test it, look at how beautiful it is, and take opportunity with it by executing your trades. So before NYC bell, we have 2 hours, which is 12 to 2, fair value gap. A broken support and resistance will change to support and resistance. Broken resistance change to support, broken support change to resistance. After the NYC bell has rank, you have 12 to 3, fair value gap, closing at the same time, which is at the same time with 2 to 3, 1 hour. So 1 hour and 3 hours give you both potential after the NYC bell. So you have everything you need for US 30. So I'm always having setups every day. Like there's no day I don't days I don't have no problem. I don't look at my chart. But if it's there, I'm executing my trade. I'm planning it. You plan a trade to execute and execute that plan you've planned out. That's how it is. So let's have an amazing day and